welcome to this week's Family Room Minute. Today I'm here with Megan and we're going to talk about toddler behavior, specifically tantrums. So we've all been there, we've all been in Target and our kid is flipping out. I wanted to ask her some advice on what to do when that happens.
Yes, we've all been there, right? Yeah. You're in Target, you walk by with socks, right? And your child just, they have to have them. I have to have
right.
those socks
right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it happens to all of us, and it's big, and you're looking around at Target and everybody's looking at you, and this is when...
And you feel like everyone's judging you.
Right. And they might be, right? Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But it's at that point that you get to make this decision to support and connect with your kid, right? So there's a couple points. One, when we give ourselves the knowledge and the education about what's happening for them, and we learn a little bit more about child development and their brain, then I feel like it's really freeing, because it allows you to shift your expectations of, you know, why are they doing this in Target? Socks, who cares?
Right.
Like, but when you have that knowledge, it can help you shift your expectations so that when you see this happen, you don't totally stress out.
Right. It probably helps you understand too what's happening for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you understand what's happening for them, it's easier to connect with them and guide them.
Yeah.
So that's the first piece, is gaining some knowledge around the brain and child development. So in that, we look at our child who's totally like, woo!
Yeah.
And this is when you use that knowledge to understand that they are living in that moment in what we like to call the kind of the middle brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. And at 3, say this is a 3-year-old, that part of the brain is kind of where they live a lot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they do. Yeah.
Right? Big feelings,
right.
Everything's a big deal.
Huge.
Right? Okay, so this is the part of the brain that's kind of the most busy right now.
Okay.
And oftentimes they end up in the middle brain. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but when this happens, say at Target or home or whatever, can you talk to them?
No, they're flipping out.
Right,
no.
right. There's like nothing's getting in,
no,
right?
No.
Well, there's a reason for that, and that's because when they're in their middle brain, which, you know, is all feelings all the time, that higher brain, which is decision making, rational thinking,
it's not
right?
Yeah.
Offline.
Yeah.
Completely offline.
It's shut down.
Shut down. You cannot get in there.
Yeah.
So you can, oh, but these socks, they're not the right ones. Oh, but we're here for baggies. Or you rationalize all you want, not getting in.
No. Okay.
So once you know that about the brain, right, then you can make choices here to, 1, connect with yourself a little bit, like, oh my gosh, we're in Target, this is so hard, everyone's looking at me.
Right.
Take a deep breath and calm yourself.
Yeah, that's really good.
Because the best way to get them calm is for you to be calm and for you to connect with them.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
2 ways to get them from that middle brain to bring that higher brain back online, the rational thinking, the good decision making, is through empathy, and which is connection, right?
I understand.
And through the senses. And we can talk a little bit more about that, but the biggest piece is empathy and connection. So here's your kid. Woo!
Yeah.
This is the time when you slow down, use your calm brain, make eye contact, lower the tone of your voice, and really connect. Wow, you're really upset. You're really wanting that right now. You're calm. Your calm brain actually calms their brain. Our brains are relational and they need that.
Right.
So you connect with your child and you let them know, I hear you.
Right, so you're diffusing it as opposed to flipping out and amping it up.
Right.
Yeah.
And remember, thinking's not happening.
Right.
There's no logic here.
Yeah.
So this is where you connect, and that connection actually builds pathways for them to be able to do it for themselves later, to emotionally regulate later. It teaches them that you're there for them, because they don't feel good either when this is happening.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No, they don't like it.
Right.
They feel out of control and out of
Yeah,
sorts.
because they are.
Right. And here's mom or dad or caregiver, nanny, anybody who can say, I hear you. Now that doesn't mean I'm gonna go get you the socks.
Right.
It just means I really hear this is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to be here to connect with you and to appreciate that even though I don't think it's a big deal, you really do. Right? So hopefully that will bring them down, and then we can move on, and either at that point, once their higher brain's back online, and there's some logic and rational thinking, then you can move on to, let's figure out what to do about the socks.
Yeah. And hopefully go get the baggies.
Hopefully, if that's what you came for.
Yeah, exactly. So I have 2 questions to follow up. So, and they're specific about my daughter, but I have a feeling this could apply to one of my daughters. So I often rub her to sort of try to calm her down. And I actually ask, and I learned this through our infant massage here, to ask for permission to touch her, especially when she's feeling sort of out of control. So I wanted to ask if that's common. She often picks her arm. And then the second one is she sort of has a go-to lovey that she really, after I've managed to rub her arm or calm her down a little bit, she'll often ask for panda lovey. And that often signals like we've brought it down and she's regrouped and she wants panda lovey and is ready to move on. Right. So I wonder if those are 2 common tools.
Really common. Use, yeah. Really common. And what's awesome is that your child has learned what works for her to soothe her. Yeah. Right? So I was saying that when your child is in that middle brain kind of emotional, it's like survival mode for them, right? So the way that the brain is organized, midbrain is emotions, lower brain is survival, so those things get activated, even about socks, right? And the best ways to get that higher brain, that rational brain thinking back online is through the senses and through empathy and connection, right? So your daughter is saying, I know that when you rub my arm, it brings me back. Right. It's an awesome way to get her back online. It's connecting. It's bringing her into what's happening here instead of being in that middle brain, kind of all emotion, totally out of control. And so she has been her own detective to figure out what helps bring her back online. And the lovey fits in that same way. The touch, it's soft. It probably has a lot of emotional connection too, and she knows it's a way to comfort her. When our kids tell us these ways to comfort them, listen. It's really helpful through the senses. Any kind of oral sensations. I know my son has a lovey that he bites, and he'll say, "I need my blankie," and he bites like this,
he knows,
which is hilarious. But for him, it brings him back. He needs it. So it gets his brain back online, just like the lovey does for her, or rubbing her arm. And asking her is so important as well, because for some kids, it will send them higher. Right. So it may be more overstimulating. So, and there may be times when she says, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm not ready for it. It's too much. And so that's really great that she knows what works, and then you're connected with her enough to say, does this what you want? Does this feel good?
Yeah. Wow, that was really great. Hopefully that'll be helpful to everyone out there as well, because we've all been there, and I think these are really good tools to help us sort of navigate the tantrums of Target. Thank you so much.
Thank you.